From broken to beautiful, why your ending is just the beginning. Welcome to the soft girl era, where we embrace both our softness and our strength. Today, I want to share something extraordinary with you, wisdom that has the power to transform how you view life's most challenging moments. I recently had the profound privilege of sitting down with Dana Milkey, a visionary whose journey through the fitness industry has completely redefined what resilience truly means. Dana isn't just a business leader, she's a revolutionary who has shown countless women, especially Black women, that our endings are merely disguised beginnings. Her ability to transform professional catastrophe into opportunity hasn't just revolutionized wellness technology. It has created a blueprint for turning pain into purpose that resonates far beyond boardrooms and balance sheets. Have you ever stood in the aftermath of what felt like total destruction? That moment when your career plans implode, relationships crumble, or the business you poured your soul into starts showing cracks in the foundation? We've all been there, staring at the pieces, wondering if this is truly the end. But what if I told you that the most beautiful vessels are often made from broken pieces? In Japanese culture, there's an art form called kintsugi, the practice of repairing broken pottery with gold. Instead of hiding the cracks, artisans highlight them, creating something more valuable and beautiful than the original. The philosophy behind it? That our breaks and repairs become part of our history, not something to conceal, but something to celebrate. This isn't just poetic metaphor. This is the reality I witnessed in Dana Milkey's remarkable career trajectory. Dana entered the fitness industry completely by chance, with no grand master plan. Yet she found profound purpose serving communities through local fitness centers. When her expansion plans stalled and uncertainty loomed, she didn't crumble. She pivoted multiple times. She even helped rescue a friend's business from bankruptcy, turning broken pieces into gold filled masterpieces. The end of one chapter, Dana shared with me, her eyes reflecting both past struggles and future possibilities, is just the blank page waiting for you to write the next. What struck me most about Dana wasn't just her business acumen, it was how she refused to let setbacks define her trajectory. When faced with career roadblocks, she leveraged relationships, embraced entirely new roles, including senior vice president positions, and continuously adapted her skill set. The result? Strong professional networks, revitalized businesses, and emergence as an influential leader in fitness technology. But here's what you need to understand: Dana's external success stemmed from an internal revolution, the radical act of loving herself through adversity. Let that sink in for a moment. Self love isn't just bubble baths and affirmations, though we love those too. True self love is the courage to believe in your worth, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. It's the audacity to trust that your broken pieces can become something magnificent. This brings me to Julian Brass, another remarkable individual whose story emerged during my conversation with Dana. Julian transitioned from lifelong entrepreneur to health advocate after experiencing complete burnout, a transition that speaks volumes to Black women constantly pushing ourselves beyond healthy limits. How many of us have felt that tension? The pressure to excel professionally while our well being screams for attention? Julian's journey reminds us that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the foundation of authentic strength. Julian began prioritizing mental health and openly discussing his journey on public platforms. He shared strategies for integrating self care without sacrificing ambition. The outcome? He successfully reinvented himself as both a respected business leader and wellness advocate. His story demonstrates that acknowledging our limits isn't failure, it's the first step toward lasting transformation. As Dana eloquently put it, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is admit you can't do it all. I want you to really hear this because it's revolutionary. Your current circumstances do not define your future success. Even when everything feels like it's falling apart, the end is rarely as final as it seems. Rising above challenges and learning to love yourself in those moments lays the foundation for greater achievements than you've ever imagined. Consider Katie Berg, an artist entrepreneur who navigated the unpredictable creative marketplace through multiple hiatuses and comebacks. Each time the industry shifted beneath her feet, she felt like she was starting over. Sound familiar? How many times have we as Black women had to reinvent ourselves in space not designed for our success? Katie's solution wasn't to abandon her vision, but to lean deeper into authenticity. She created her Lock It Bloom series, connecting with audiences through storytelling tied closely to her own journey of renewal. With each return, she embraced past failures, allowing her artistry and business not just to recover, but to flourish in entirely new ways. The pattern becomes clear across these stories. When we face what looks like an ending, we have two choices: see it as final or see it as fertile ground for something new. This isn't toxic positivity. I'm not suggesting we ignore pain or pretend setbacks don't hurt. They do, deeply. What I am suggesting is that we can acknowledge the pain while simultaneously refusing to let it have the final word. Self love becomes our most powerful catalyst for transformation and resilience. Embracing who you are, especially during tough times, empowers you to rebuild and emerge stronger, turning those broken pieces into a beautiful vessel of honor. As Audre Lorde reminds us, caring for myself is not self indulgence, it is self preservation, and that is an act of political warfare. For Black women, especially, loving ourselves through adversity isn't just personal, it's revolutionary. Dana's journey exemplifies this truth. Her willingness to start over after each challenge demonstrates how endings can lead directly into beginnings when met with self belief. She guided companies through crisis recovery, pioneered technology driven solutions in wellness, and inspired teams across diverse locations, all because she refused to see setbacks as final verdicts on her worth. Every challenge you face contains hidden opportunities. Every setback can be a setup for something greater if you persist with hope and action. The journey through adversity often reveals strengths you never knew you had, pathways you couldn't previously see, and versions of success you hadn't imagined. I want to offer you three practical ways to apply these insights in your own life. First, when faced with what looks or feels like the end, pause. Choose one act of radical self care or affirmation instead of giving up. This might be as simple as standing in front of the mirror and declaring, "This is not my ending. This is my plot twist." Or taking 5 minutes to breathe deeply and reconnect with your body before making any major decisions. Second, write down three strengths you've discovered only because things got tough. Maybe you found out you're more resilient than you thought. Perhaps you discovered creativity under pressure. Or maybe you learned you have a community that shows up when you need them most. Naming these strengths reminds you that difficulty hasn't just taken from you, it's also given you gifts. Third, share your story or support someone else going through their own storm. You never know whose life might change because they heard your truth. As Dana shared, the story you think disqualifies you is often the very one that will connect you most deeply with others. The beauty of these practices is that they don't require massive life overhauls. They're small shifts that create ripple effects of transformation. I want to be clear about something. This journey isn't linear. There will be days when loving yourself feels impossible, days when the broken pieces seem beyond repair, days when you question whether new beginnings are really possible for you. On those days, remember Dana Milky's words: the difference between those who rebuild and those who remain broken isn't talent or opportunity. It's the willingness to begin again, even when beginning feels impossible. Your capacity to rise isn't determined by how many times you fall, it's determined by your willingness to keep standing up, to keep gathering the pieces, to keep believing that something beautiful is still possible. As we conclude today, I'm not just asking you to remember these stories, I'm challenging you to become the author of your own resurrection narrative, to look at what feels broken in your life right now, that career setback, that relationship that didn't work out, that dream that seems to be slipping away, and ask yourself, what if this isn't my ending? What if this is precisely where my most beautiful beginning takes root? Tomorrow, I want you to wake up and do something radical. Take one piece of your brokenness and hold it up to the light. See how it catches the sun. Imagine the gold that could fill its cracks. Then take one small action that honors both your wound and your capacity to heal. Because here's the truth that Dana, Julian, and Katie all discovered: the world doesn't need more people who've never been broken. The world needs people who understand that brokenness is where the light gets in. People who can stand in their truth and say, yes, I was shattered, and look at the masterpiece I've become. Your ending isn't the end, it's just the first word in a more beautiful story than you ever imagined possible. Now go write it. The world is waiting.